What's up, Facebook friends? Hi, guys. Welcome to the first kind of lunch and learn on Facebook. I spend most of my time on Instagram, but it's nice to be with you here today. So if you check this out either live or a replay, thank you for watching my silly, nerdy, but explained soap today. Y'all, just a little bit about me. I'm Melissa. You probably know me, but I am a pharmacist. I got my BS in biology back in the day, and so I obviously love science. And so I'm super stoked to talk about soap today. I wanted to talk about soap for a couple of reasons. Number one is it's something I've never, ever really thought about. We all just use soap in our day-to-day lives, right? Like we wash our hands, we wash our dishes, we wash our clothes, we wash our children, and we don't really even think about what soap is. And so I think anytime that we're putting something on our skin, which by the way, your skin is not wallpaper. Your skin is your biggest organ. It absorbs everything. So anytime we're regularly putting something on our skin, we should probably ask questions about like, what am I putting on there? What is the use? Do I need it? And what's in it? Okay. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to nerd out today on what soap is. Soap, you guys, and we're going to kind of just talk about it in a very basic form. If you want to get more sciencey, we can totally do that. But today we'll kind of try to keep it surface level. So really soap, in the simplest form, soap is going to be like a fat and or an oil, right? With a base, okay? So like an alkaline basic salt. Okay, hopefully that is in terms we can all understand. If something comes up and you're like, Melissa, I don't know what that is, just tell me, okay? We often, obviously we mix it with water, right? So soap again is a fat and an oil or an oil, usually in the form of like a vegetable oil. What I uses like olive oil and coconut oil, and then some sort of basic salt. Okay, and here's what happens. When you put those two things together, when you put an oil, we'll just say coconut oil in this instance, with some sort of base, okay, which oftentimes you'll see it described as lye. Have you ever seen that? You're like, lye? That doesn't sound good. Like, what is lye? Okay, and then we're talking about like a base, something that's basic, okay? You put those two together, oftentimes you can heat them, and what happens is you have a reaction called saponification. Really cool word. It's easy to remember because it kind of sounds like soap, right? So you've got this saponification process when you take that fat and the base together. And so the fat that's in there and that coconut oil becomes hydrolyzed. So those OHs come off of there. And what you get is this really cool reaction where you get glycerin, which we'll talk about in a second. Okay, we'll talk about naturally occurring glycerin, which is really cool and does some amazing things for the skin. And then you also are going to get what is like a fatty acid salt, okay? Remember, you started with that fat, you started with that base, and now you've got a fatty acid salt. Here's the really, really cool part, okay? So you know if you take a dirty dish with like lots of grease on it and you just try to wash it with water, like nothing really happens, right? Nothing really happens. That's the same thing with your skin, by the way, and that's one of the reasons why soap is important, okay? So there's a lot of talk out there of like, don't use soap. I don't need to debate anyone, but like for me, I believe it's important because if I have like germs, bacteria, again, some of those are healthy, but in order to get those yucky ones off, that debris off, I can't just use water, okay? It's just like the grease in your dish. It's not gonna come off. You've gotta have some sort of thing that's gonna help it pull off, okay? So here's the really cool part. You've now got those basic fatty acid salts, and that debris and those bacterias and the germs, what they're gonna do is they're gonna form, I drew a little picture for you guys. So here's the grease and the yucky in here. Those fatty acid salts are going to enclose them. They're gonna totally encapsulate them, okay? Which this won't happen with just water and debris, right? So germs and bacteria and icky stuff, they wanna cling to something fatty, okay? They're gonna cling to that, right? Well, water isn't like that. Water and oil don't mix, right? So when you have saponification and now you've got these fatty acid salts, they surround that grime and that grease and the bacteria. They encapsulate them. And now what can do, look on the outside, see these circles? These circles totally will wash off in water. So now what you've got is this really cool kind of water and oil mixture that is able to remove the dirt and the grime and the bacteria. So most of the time when we're talking about soap and removing yucky stuff, it's not because it's antibacterial. It's not because it's killing the germs. The soap is able to remove the germs, okay? It's able to take it off, which I think is super cool and really important that we define what is going on in that process, okay? So that's the process of saponification. If you don't remember anything, I want you to remember that. We took the fat and we took the base, right? And we had saponification. We ended up with a glycerol or a glycerin and that fatty acid salt. And that is what is able to enclose the yucky stuff, have the water, then take it away. So that's what soap does. Isn't that cool? I think it's so cool. I never knew that about soap. I knew about saponification. I didn't know that's what's happening when they made soap, but that's exactly what happens. Let's talk really quick about that glycerol or the glycerin that then is formed. So obviously you can have chemically man-made glycerin. Ugh, again, like if I'm gonna put it on my skin, I'm not super crunchy or like hippie. I still eat like Cheetos and nasty stuff here and there, so no judgment. But if I'm putting something on my body every day, my largest organ, I really kind of want to think what's in there. But there's also naturally occurring glycerin. And what is so cool about that is, here's another fun word. We talked about saponification. Another really fun word is humectant. So glycerin's a humectant. What a humectant does is it pulls moisture from the air. So if you have naturally occurring glycerin in that soap that you're using, it's going to draw moisture and trap it. So you're not going to be stripping the skin of moisture that you oftentimes can get with nasty kind of man-made soaps that don't have that humectant. Isn't that cool? So now you're able to wash away with the soap, right? You can wash away the grime and the grease and the bacteria through those fatty basic salts. And then you also get the glycerin that's a humectant of trapping moisture. So we basically have two choices. Now we know what soap is. You know why it's important, right? It's going to really clean us. It's not going to kill the good stuff. It's not going to kill and get rid of, it's going to get rid of things, but it's not going to kill it, okay? So we know why we want soap. So you got two choices. You can like go to the big stores and you can buy man-made soap that has like a lot of chemical detergents and hardeners and bases and maybe some man-made glycerin. Y'all, again, I've used Dial and Dove for the majority of my life. So no judgment at all. And you've got to do what you've got to do and what you feel comfortable for you and your family. But I really want to encourage everyone, when it comes to our skin, our largest organ, like that is such a good place to start, where we can really start to clean up our homes and what we're putting on our kiddos and our families and our friends. So we can go to the store and get those man-made things that were kind of toxic. We don't really know what they are. They're probably not the best for us, right? Usually when humans make something, when humans try to imitate nature, it usually doesn't go very well. Or here's what's really cool is there's so many great options. And of course, like I have my favorite options, which I'll tell you about, but you get to make that decision. I'm not here to sell you on these. I just want you to know the importance of soap. And what to look for. So you can also look for soaps like, okay, so I used to think like people who use handmade soap was like so weird. But I love it now. I will never use anything else because it's changed my skin. You guys, if you've known me at all, I am a girl that had acne. I had a ton of acne in college, like lots of scarring. I've never loved my skin. I'm coming to you on Facebook I have a little bit of blush on, and you can tell I have a little bit of highlighter on my eyelids and mascara, but this is my skin. Okay, this is my skin. I'm almost 40. It's because of this. So look, you can choose soaps that have like wild crafted herbs. Do you see all the herbs in there? I just want to sniff it all the time. It smells so good. Woo! That was the charcoal soap too. So living botanicals, okay? So now you've got things in there that are from nature that also aid your body to work at its best, okay? Really, I can't say like healing, but really gonna just support and aid your body instead of being toxic and stripping it. So you've got like, you can look for live botanicals. A lot of times these handmade soaps are supporting local farmers. Like this bar has a ton, both of these have a ton of raw honey that is from USA beekeepers. So you're supporting local farmers, which is really cool. And at your farmer's market, the same sort of thing. But what I love is in these specific ones, because I know how they're made and I've seen them made, is they have naturally occurring glycerin. So not only are you getting the benefits of honey, which has antibacterial properties, botanicals like calendula, okay, which again is antimicrobial, antibacterial, or maybe excuse me, got to put the maybe in there. And hyssop, oh my gosh, if you read your Bible, like hyssop is all over the place. We know it to have may have anti-inflammatory properties, okay? So that's actually absolutely incredible. But naturally occurring glycerin that's going to trap that moisture in. And again, instead of stripping, it's going to leave you feeling even more like hydrated and moisturized. And again, you're supporting your body's natural processes. What I love too is, as someone who's dealt with, especially on my face, with like acne prone, oily skin, I love that herbs and just things from the earth can really support my skin. So going forward, support it to be healthy, but also may have those antibacterial, antimicrobial properties that are really important for someone that has problematic skin. So those are some things to look for in some soaps, especially if you want to go the handmade route instead of the store, which I would always suggest. I'll tell you why just in 1 second. These are cured for like 6 weeks. So these are no joke, small batch, amazing. So basically, you're fusing nature and science, that sciencey saponification and humectants, and you're blending it with just nature. And y'all, it's no wonder that like it just works better, okay? So that's why I believe in soap, and that's why I believe in finding something that's raw and handcrafted. Okay, and then also these have bentonite clay, which has been shown to remove toxins. So again, getting the yucky stuff out, supporting the body's natural processes, treating your skin really, really well, and allowing it to work optimally instead of stripping it and all the nasty, okay? Oh, my aunt's calling. She's the best. Okay, so how are these specific ones any different? Like, why do I love these? Because there's a lot of places you can get handmade soap, and I think that's amazing. Because if you're buying handmade soap, you're supporting a small business. So I think that's incredible. Instead of big box store, Dial, or Dove, you get to support the lady down the street. So again, these are small batch. I have a $10 off code if you want to try them. They also have a 60-day guarantee. So if you don't love it, guess what? You can try a different one, get your money back, whatever you need to do, okay? So there's no risk involved. But I also love these because they support USA farmers, beekeepers, and farmers. They fight child trafficking, which if you know me at all, you know that's super important to me. They partner with both Operation Underground Railroad and Not for Sale. So these are groups that are actually rescuing children around the world. So that is amazing. And then you're decreasing the toxic burden in your home. Like that is a worthy cause, okay? Again, this is something your kids, you, your grandparents, anybody, they're putting on their entire body every day. Hopefully every day. I guess my 7-year-old maybe not washing every day. Everyone in my house uses these bars, okay? Ryan has his own bar. It's a man soap. Ladies, it smells delicious, okay? I use the charcoal. Finley uses the charcoal. We use that on our face. And then the Bloom bar is what we kind of just use for our entire body. If you have sensitive skin, problematic skin on your body, like rashy, blotchy, I can't say the actual sciencey terms, but one starts with an R, one starts with a P. There's one with an E. The lavender and oat bar is really, really good. It's super moisturizing, and it really has done wonders for a lot of people. So there's 4 different types of bars, and you're decreasing your toxins in the home. You can decrease toxins for your friends by telling them about it too, and you're really encouraging the body's natural processes, okay? So we've done the science. We've talked about the different kinds. Now you get to decide, like, what do you want to choose? I think this is a worthy investment. These are samples. If you want to try a sample, just drop me a comment below. If you have any questions, drop them below. I would love to know if this was helpful. Put helpful if you like this kind of lunch and learn, and we'll keep doing it. I would love to serve you in that way, especially with my science background since I'm not in the pharmacy anymore. But if you want to try a sample, just put the word sample and we'll figure out which ones would be good. They're only $6. They're $6. I'll take care of everything, and then you can just Venmo me. Okay, so $6 for the samples. But what I would really encourage you to do is just get the bar, because you're gonna get these and you're gonna want the bar. And so then you're gonna have spent $6 and then you're gonna spend the money to get the full size bar when you could have just get the full size bar, which again, if you don't love it, even though you will, we can send it back, no questions asked, okay? And the big bar, like this will last you a couple of weeks. You don't need much. Like I just keep it on the side and you just rub the top of it and it lathers really well, and that's it. This will last a long time. It's not like your Dove bar that's gonna be gone in like 2 seconds, okay? You just put it wherever it needs to sit. You can rub your washcloth on it or your hand, and that's all you need, okay? The big bars last me about 8 weeks. I get them, I cut them into 8 slices, and then I use one at a time, and they last forever. Again, this is what everyone in our house uses, and I love it. So that is soap, you guys. I hope that was so helpful. I welcome any and all feedback. Let me know if I can help you, if I can get you a discount, if you have questions about the soap you're using or anything at all. I am your Freedom Pharmacist here on social media. I love you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you soon.